Hi there, Dr. Lauren here, one of the chiropractors at Caladanese Family Chiropractic, speaking to you today all about core strengthening, why it's so important, and how this can be addressed with 5 simple exercises at home. Now, it is something we commonly address in clinic as it relates to common conditions that walk through the door, whether that be chronic or acute low back pain, disc herniations, radiating nerve pain, abdominal coning, often seen as a tenting of the abdomen rather than a rounding when we're sitting up from a lying down position. And even common lower limb injuries such as knee pain or shin splints. So why is this so important? I want you to imagine your abdomen as a box rather than a simple frontal plane. Your abdomen consists of a layer of muscles, the frontal aspect being your transverse abdominis, your back or posterior aspect composing of those spinal erectors and your glutes, the floor composing of that pelvic floor, and the roof being that diaphragm muscle, your primary breathing muscle. Now, I want you to think of this box like a corset. It has to zip up as one single unit in order to give you stability. Now, the trunk itself, that core stability, these muscles are designed to turn on prior to initiating any limb movement. So that being anytime you think about lifting a foot, putting an arm out, say, to catch a ball, or open a door, your trunk and core is designed to turn on first in order to support you through those daily motions. Now you can see where risk of injury happens when we have weakening of this core, not being able to properly stabilize the body through daily movements, sport-specific exercises, or exercise in general. So building up to the whole point of this video, let's take a step back and walk through the muscles that support that whole core box we spoke about earlier. I want to put the biggest emphasis on what's called your transverse abdominis. You can see that over here. I want you to think of that as a loop-type muscle surrounding your whole core, almost like a hula hoop, giving you multi-directional support. I want you to stop putting emphasis on the rectus abdominis, that classic perhaps six-pack muscle we often train in the gym. That's only giving you forward flexion support here, not overall trunk stability. Moving towards the back of that box, we have our multifidus right over here. This one's often coined the Christmas tree muscle, just given its fiber orientation coming out. This one is helping your back orient itself in space, again, aiding to that trunk stability. Further out from that Christmas tree muscle, we have our quadratus lumborum, or QL, coming from the ribs down to the tops of those hips, again, aiding in a huge stabilization of the spine. Coming down to the bottom, we do have our glutes still in the back here, providing support for both sides of the hips as well as the low back. Coming further down over here, you can see into our pelvic floor. Huge stabilizer of the abdomen overall. Co-activates with that transverse abdominis, that loop type muscle we spoke about earlier. Working in tandem with our last muscle up on the top, our diaphragm, which is designed not only to help us breathe in that moving up and down, but also in increasing intra-abdominal pressure. So next, let's walk through this set of 5 exercises designed to help you work on your core stability at home. This first exercise here demonstrates what's called diaphragmatic breathing or core breathing. On the inhale, you're meant to breathe in through the belly, rising through the hand, not through the chest and shoulders. On the exhale, you're pulling belly button in towards the spine. The next exercise you see here is the dead bug. While bracing the core, you're designed to slowly lower either one leg or one arm at a time. This is the first and often beginner's progression. Further advancing to, in tandem, lowering one leg and one arm at a time. This may be more challenging, so take your time. Next here, you see the glute bridge. Again, while bracing the core, you're meant to squeeze the glutes, lifting your hips up and off the mat. You can challenge yourself to hold this position at the top or repeat a set of repetitions over time. Next, onto the side bridge exercise, where again, squeezing the core and glutes together, bringing ourselves up into a side plank position. This can be done either on the knees or on the feet. The last of our 5 exercises demonstrated here is the bird dog. I show a series of progressions from lifting either one leg and one arm at a time to in tandem lifting the opposite arm and leg at one time. Remembering here to keep your shoulders and hips as level as possible to prevent tipping of the pelvis from side to side. Now, please remember, all of these exercises are to be done within tolerance. It may differ from person to person. It depends on your ability level. They are best done outside of that first hour in the morning, just due to that increased water pressure inside the discs. Now, hopefully you found this helpful. Now you can avoid those dreaded crunches and sit-ups at the gym. Work on something more functional rather than aesthetic.